Passion Jesus 41. Did the bad thief go to hell? Is the bad thief, who was crucified with Jesus, in hell? One could ask this question, only symbolically, seeing that he is crucified to the left of Jesus. He keeps insulting Jesus. The Gospel of Luke recounts these insults. One of the criminals hanging on the cross insulted him by saying, "Are you not the Christ? Save yourself, and so do we." And the other, taking him back, said to him, "Aren't you ashamed of insulting him like that?" It is true that, in all the tradition of the Fathers of the Church, of the first commentators of the Gospel, the one on the left symbolizes the goats and therefore goes to hell, and the one on the right symbolizes the lambs, therefore he is saved. Now, concerning the fate of this bad thief, of all those who symbolize men of bad will, men who are big hardened sinners, it would be too quick to say that they are condemned like that. The cross, rather, with the three crucified, symbolizes the three kinds of men who exist on earth concerning salvation. There is a small part of men who are hardened voluntarily in selfishness. Either they know God or they don't know Him, whatever, they think of themselves, and that part is also part of our being. At times, we are like that. To the right of Jesus, a part of the human being who tries to do the best, who recognizes himself as a sinner and tries to change his behavior, to act for the better for others. They are men of good will, poor sinners. And then, in the center, those who symbolize the small number of true believers, Christians, those who know why we are on earth and who carry, through their prayers, the bad, like the good thief. So rather, the three crosses do not represent the damned, the men of good will on the march who will be saved, and the Christians, but rather the three ways in which God leads men, all men, He tries to lead them to salvation. Regarding Christians, symbolized by Christ, we are crucified, but it is less heavy to carry, because at least we know where we are going, and then there is the presence of God. For men of good will, of all religions, who seek to act righteously, the great suffering is that they live the same trials as we Christians, but they do not know what it is for. It is much heavier to carry, but they hope for salvation and they will be answered. They are not currently in salvation. They do not yet really know Christ, but at the hour of death, when they see Him and He receives them, they rush into His arms. Thus is fulfilled this saying, "Today with me you will be in paradise." And then the bad thieves, the men of bad will, present in all religions, including among Christians, those, to save them, they are struck with the same cross, except that they take it hard, with pride. They refuse to give in. But God has time, God has patience, God has long moments to make them yield, so that in the end, will be damned among them, only those who have resisted everything, to earthly life, old age which takes away a lot of pride for the great masters of this world, the passage through death, Sheol, and sometimes wandering in death, a certain time that God allows, so that they amending, a little like it did for the people of the Old Testament, like shadows, between this world and the next. Without finality, without the appearance of Christ. And finally, the appearance of Christ, in His glory, with all His offer of forgiveness, at the moment when it is wanted, at the moment when, perhaps, their heart ends up being tenderized. The story of the bad thief, it is told with the prodigal son. He spends everything, he does anything, he is hardened. And, by dint of eating only what the pigs he keeps, he who was the son of a family, he ends up, if only for that, he ends up remembering his father and humbly asking to be his servant, since he is no longer worthy of being his son. Then he is saved. So hell is reserved for those, among the bad thieves, who will resist everything, what is called, blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, and who will eternally refuse to ask for forgiveness, believing themselves, in hell, happy the lonely freedom of pride.